Ladies and gentlemen, in front of us is River Yala. River Yala is in Kenya and it flows from the Nandi escarpment. The Nandi escarpment is actually in the Rift Valley part of Kenya. It flows through Western Kenya and all through to the lake region, Lake Victoria Lake region part of Kenya. And in that process, it covers over 200 kilometers downstream. Now, as you can see, the river is not normally full like this, but it has actually burst its banks. It has actually subsided a bit because the last 2 days it was actually very full, such that even where I'm standing, it was full of water. And what you see here, the big tree you see in front of us, that is normally where the river, just ahead of it, that is where the river boundary should be, but it has actually taken up a lot of farmland on both sides of the river. And that is a huge impact or loss to the farmer, because if you look at the land and the crops that it has destroyed, both sides of the stream, across 200 kilometers, that is a huge loss to the farmer. Actually, if you look ahead, you can see there's a banana that has also been consumed by water. I've always wondered whether the river is a curse or a blessing to the farmer who is farming nearby, or the farmers who are farming nearby. But maybe I'll tell you why in due course. In terms of benefits, it's true the farmers who, or the people who live nearby here, they get a lot of benefit from the river. One is because the area along this river is used for cultivation, especially doing horticulture. And they also use it for watering their livestock and for domestic use. You might think that because the water is brown in color, it is not consumable. But the people who live in this region have grown up consuming the water just as it is. Something that I can also mention is that it's not normally that in Kenya or all parts of Kenya, people have access to such plenty of water. And that is where I talk about a curse or a blessing. So whereas there are some people, like the regions around Turkana and northeastern part of Kenya, where the water is scarce and actually is a source of conflict, here you find that there is a lot of water in the river all year round, whereas they use it for cultivation. Sometimes it brings calamities, and normally the calamities is in the form of overflooding, like it has done now, and has caused massive loss to the farmer. And there are also incidences where people have fallen into the river and lost their lives. Many incidences. In fact, where I'm standing, if you just look ahead a bit, not long ago, there was a body that was retrieved from there. The other challenges that come with the river is that there are parts that are infested with crocodiles and hippos. And normally those pose danger to those living around and who are using the river for their livelihoods. Despite those challenges, the farmers around have found their way and continue to hustle and make a life out of the river. However, it's becoming more challenging because at this particular time of the month, it is actually, um, today is actually December 1, 2024. And at this particular time of the year, it is never too rainy and the river never flood at this particular time. This would normally happen in the month of May, April, May, long rains, but the river would normally flood in May. So the farmers would normally plan and avoid such. But you can see, because of the impact of climate change, it is no longer possible to predict such. And that is why the farmers have incur such huge losses where such incidences occur. Hopefully, just hopefully, one day um, the issue of climate change will be managed better and it will be a thing of the past. Just hopefully. Do you think so? Yeah, I know that as much as there are a number of complaints about the climate change, they say that one man's poison is another's medicine. So maybe you can also tell us, if you come from near where a river is passing by, whether you experience such and whether the climate change affects you and how, or whether you are basically benefiting from it economically. Up to this point, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Please share your comments and experiences on climate change and how it affects you or it benefits you. And please also like, share, and subscribe so that we can continue the conversation. And also as a way of encouraging me to put such videos and share more highlights. Thank you so much and see you in the next one. Bye bye.